One, hey, two, hey, one, hey, two, hey, three, hey, four, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho. Everybody, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho.
Hey, how you doing, Rav'n?
I'm great. How are you, LaDios?
I'm doing good. I'm LaDios Muhammad. I'm an actor with purpose.
And I'm Rav'n Moon. I'm an actor with passion.
And we are actors
From the dark side. Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining in. As we said, when we started our podcast, we said we will be talking about reviews. And so today we are going to be talking about Self-Made, the story about Madam C.J. Walker.
Yes. This is available on Netflix right now. I believe it came out maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
Pretty incredible production, if you ask moi. I was actually brought to tears by the end of it. What were your thoughts, LaDios?
Well, there were some great performers. Octavia Spencer's in
Absolutely.
it. Blair Underwood, who I love. Underwear. He is an amazing actor. Mm-hmm. And then Stephanie Haddish is in there.
Tiffany.
Tiffany Haddish.
Yes,
Don't beat me, girl. Don't beat me. So there were some really good actors in there. So it was just amazing. I loved the whole movie miniseries. I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was moved. I was angry. I was excited. I was inspired. So if for all you don't know, Madam C.J. Walker, she created the first hair
care line.
Well, what she was known for was to be the first black female millionaire.
And not just black female millionaire, America's first millionaire.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite astounding that America's first millionaire wasn't a white man. It was a black woman who made that money from. Well, that might be.
That might not be right. I think it was the first black.
It
female.
was. Yeah. I have my
facts
because there was Rockefeller.
Yeah,
and all those
Rockefeller.
guys
She was sitting
Never
next
mind.
to Rockefeller. Okay.
Never mind.
But she was supposed to be the first black female millionaire and who was a self-made millionaire with regarding beauty supplies.
And she's a Guinness Book World holder still to this day.
Wow.
That's right.
Is
yes.
that
yes,
right?
That
now
is
that
correct.
I did not
That
know.
is
See,
correct.
this girl, I like her because she be doing the research.
Sometimes.
So anyway, we wanted to review this show for our new episode. This would be our 5th episode.
Yeah.
And we wanted to review the show and is it our 5th?
Yeah.
No, it's our 4th. My bad, it's our 4th.
I think. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, it's our 4th episode, and we said we were going to do some reviews, and so we are going to review this show, and so, so we're going to try to go from the top to the bottom of the show.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So at the beginning, she talked, I guess she was with a man, and she was stressing out. She was barely making ends meet. Her hair was falling out. And then she meets, is it Hattie McDaniel? What?
Addie Monroe.
Addie Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
What am I getting Hattie McDaniel? I'm making up stuff. Addie Monroe. So Addie Monroe came to her door and kind of embraced her. She was down on her luck. She had just gotten out of an abusive relationship, and she helped her hair to grow.
It was a little bit like Mary Kay for the 1920s. So yeah, you had a hair care line, and let's go and find sales associates that can help sell it. And Addie Monroe basically brings Sarah Breedlove at that time. Sarah Breedlove under her wing as a sales associate. Yeah. Now, Sarah Breedlove
never was a sales associate.
Oh, she wasn't.
No,
that's
no,
right.
so
that's right.
Okay, so
she was just using the product.
Yeah, she was just using the product in
She was just a
exchange.
customer.
So she was helping her to grow her hair in exchange to, I guess she would do her laundry.
Okay, that's right.
And she really thought that, she was, so this is where everything kind of starts to unfold. Addie was doing her hair, and then she was talking to her sales associates, who were all mulatto women. That's what they call them, biracial, light-skinned women, who were selling her products. And that was basically a mirror image of who Addie was. And then Sarah, who was Madam C.J. Walker, asked could she sell her product.
And she was rebuked. She was told that nobody wants to buy hair product from somebody that looks like you.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to look like me. I think that's just a little segue over outside of the narrative of the story is that a lot of this deals with the fact that this woman isn't your typical tall, light-skinned, beautiful what the picture of beauty was at that time. She, at least Octavia Spencer, is full figured and dark skinned and all of those things. So those were some of the things that she had against her, even starting out on this journey. If you want to pick up on that.
Yeah, and it was really sad. But the thing about Sarah is that she said, I can sell the product because I'm a living proof that it works. I can sell the product too. So this is where it gets interesting because she's telling her, I know your product, I've experienced, and it's something about hair, because I remember her saying that she had a Cain and Abel with her, a Cain versus Abel with her hair. I literally wrote that quote down. She said, I had a Cain and Abel versus with my hair.
Sure.
And so back then, the standard beauty of having hair, long hair was, and very manageable hair was something big. And so she's telling her, like, I can sell this product. I can do this for you. And of course she said no.
Right.
And she's like, just do what you do best and, basically clean her clothes. And, which could be an insult and really sad because it's a beautiful product.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not to give all of it away because we do want you to go out and watch the movie as well. But definitely I think that is what lit a fire under her to go out and do it on her own. And she basically took the product that she had and said, I'm going to make this better. And she made it better, took off the stink smell and started her own enterprise. And it was just the hunger, the drive, the tenacity, the never accepting no. I mean, this is a woman that got told no and faced rejection. I don't know how many times from black investors, from white investors, from, it was just so hard for her to get started. But she believed so much in what she was doing, her product, and what she could do for other black women that it kept her going. One of the things that I thought was so amazing was just seeing so many different portrayals of black hair. They did these really great little silhouettes of really cool hairstyles. And I thought that was just really
that was at the
amazing.
beginning, right?
Throughout, actually, they had that. Maybe it was in the first episode, but I thought I saw it a little bit.
You probably
throughout.
did the vignettes through that, but it did open up with the different hairstyles and how important. Like there is something about having hair.
Definitely.
For black women, whether it's a weave, whether it's extensions, whether it's braids, whether it's cornrows, whether it's curly, natural, whatever. It's something about our hair that just glorifies us to add to our beauty, to make us feel pretty.
Sure.
And this was her goal. Not only that, what I did love, it was a family-owned business. And she employed women. She put people to work. She employed women and men.
Yeah.
So she created jobs.
Absolutely.
With this product. So it wasn't just the tenacity of, I got to get this out. And she was like, I'm creating jobs, which was funny that she couldn't get an investor.
Yeah, no, it was pretty shocking because again, that's it. The show definitely touches on some major themes of feminism, but also you touched on it a little bit, colorism, and some of the struggles that she had within her own community. You know, that there were a lot of big time African American businessmen that she tried to meet with, and the minute that they heard it coming from her mouth instead of her husband's, it was like, we're keeping our money right here in our pockets. So there were a lot of hurdles for her to overcome in that regard, and then we see these themes today. You know, that's the thing that's so striking, even in terms of what's beautiful, Lupita Nyong'o or Beyonce or you know, that kind of thing. Like, you know, and of course all women are beautiful. That's just all that there is to that.
Yeah.
But you know, we deal with that in our own kind of community, and even in America's just what's the standard of beauty and what passes for beauty and that kind of thing. She
struggled with that a lot.
Definitely.
I mean, so let's talk about her husband. I want to talk about her husband because
Blair Underwood.
Okay, the fact that he was that man is looking good as he gets older and older. He just
forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget about it. I don't want to forget about it.
You can watch Kim when we're done.
Okay. But anyway, what I loved about him is he supported her. He left. Where were they, in Mississippi?
Yeah.
Okay, they were in Mississippi to go to Indianapolis. Like,
Yeah.
he sold his house.
Yeah.
He picked up his whole life to go and support her dream and gave his name for her product.
Yes. But at the same time became a major hindrance because once he felt that he wasn't the most important thing in her life, he kind of bailed and also tried to use that name against her with his new wife. So it's a remarkable
Well, wait
story.
a minute. I see it different.
Okay.
Okay, so I supported you. You are super driven. I've been there. I've been that woman in my first marriage. Super driven.
Okay.
But you're still neglecting your man. You're neglecting just the bare minimum of just, like, hey, I do exist. I'm supporting you. I'm giving you 100% of all of me, but can I get a little, he was like, can we just go to New York and just, have a couple of drinks and have dinner? And she did not have time for him. And I have to say that for me, that's not okay. I don't think, now, I don't agree with him stepping out because that was wrong.
Sure.
But I understand why he did.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah, I understand
Two
why
wrongs
he
don't
did.
make a right. But and for me to be like, oh my God, her husband was amazing, he wouldn't have stepped out.
No.
Then he would have been the
Yeah.
amazing, oh my God, because he would have stuck by her through all of it, even
Yeah.
realizing that she had these other priorities instead of getting his feelings hurt.
So you think his father had something to do with that? Because he kept dropping these seeds like, she's saying this is my business.
Well,
Well,
his
it's
father
ours.
was trying to actually keep him level-headed. Like, regret's a much harder pill to swallow. But at that point, it was too late. His pride had been hurt and those kind of things. But one of the things that came up for me, there's a great quote, and I'm not going to get it right, and I don't know who said it, but it was basically something along the lines of the true marker of youth is the absolute belief that this has never happened before. And this movie was a definite showing that, maybe the vehicle in which we deliver things on changes, but human nature never really changes. And we might be doing it through email versus the telegraph, but in terms of trying to get ahead and having people say no and having people have feelings hurt and oh my gosh, it's going to lead to the daughter. Unfulfilled expectations. They toy a little bit with, they don't outright say it, but they definitely bring it out by the end of it that the daughter's lesbian.
I did read that in the back
absolutely.
history online. I did read that her daughter was lesbian. And
Sure.
And I think her daughter died shortly after she died. But they did the adoption so that they could have someone to carry on the family
absolutely.
name.
But the fact that, there was a long time that she was trying to get her daughter to fill a role that her daughter wasn't happy with and that, i.e. being married and having children, that kind of thing. And I thought it was a really beautiful kind of bow on everything at the end when there's that acceptance and the adoption and all of that. I believe at the end credits said something around along the lines of Langston Hughes called the daughter, the joy goddess of Harlem, and I thought that was really amazing.
Yeah,
and I'm definitely going to have to do some research on that.
The joy goddess,
it's great. And Tiffany Haddish was just amazing.
She was
in that
entertaining.
Role.
She was very entertaining. And I would say she was pretty in out of all the roles I have seen her in, and I've seen her in mostly all of the stuff that she's been acting thus forward. She was. I would think she was being authentic. Yeah, she was being able to, because her background is comedy, so she got to do a lot of comedy, little spits here and there, and I thought it was like it suited her for this role.
It suited her, and I think she stretched herself too. I felt that she went places that I didn't see her go as deep before.
Yeah.
And this whole production touched me on another level. I think it was episode 2. They open it with these amazing dance numbers. It has a lot of whimsy, a lot of history, a lot of debate. I wasn't so. I've always been aware of Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois, but to see it portrayed on the ground and, what were people feeling at the convention when somebody says, we can be separate but equal, and instead of a great applause is maybe a That was interesting.
One of the most profound things was how collective the women came as a community to invest in her dream. Yeah. And that was very powerful because it showed unity, that we can overcome this feminism, that we can do this as a community, and that we can do this as women. And I thought that was not only just women, Black women on top of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought that was just like an impactful, important part of the piece, because I think today in societies we don't do things collectively like we once did back in the day.
No, and I mean even to that end, in some ways we can debate that, because you had Addie right up until the end still coming after her.
Yeah.
And she really had to, she makes this great appeal at the end, like, you know, what if we would have been working together?
Exactly.
What, you know, and it's just so eye-opening, because if we really did just pull our resources together and, you know, that kind of thing,
like
versus
this,
working against each other.
like us.
Yeah. You'd have something good.
Yeah. Like us. But no, and that's so funny, because there's always a question, and every time I read something, there's always something like, did she steal her product or did she not?
Right.
Did she steal her product? And I brought that up to Mr. King, just so y'all don't know, Mr. King is my significant other. I'll throw him in there from time to time. But I said, yeah, but she said at the end, what about? Yeah, he's our production manager. So you hear a little giggling or something. That's Mr. King. But I said, what about the fact that she said, hey, I wanted to work with you. I wanted to be a partner. We could have took over the world. And she said, when I said that to Mr. King, he was like, yeah, but it doesn't give her a right to steal her product. So do you think she stole her product?
I don't think she stole her product in terms of, let's say that there is something I'm using, and like I said, it has a bad odor to it or something. So I take it and I mess with it and I figure out how to make it work without that odor.
Yeah.
I have a new product.
And
so that's how I felt about Madam C.J. Walker. Is
that's
that
exactly
you made yourself something new, boo boo.
I said.
Right, that's what I say.
So that's how. And but see how I put
But that's innovation. That's what innovation is. That's America.
Yes, and that's what I told Mr. King. I said, you know, it's like having a chocolate chip cookie.
Yes.
Then you go, now I'm going to make it crunchy, or I'm going to make it soft, or I'm going to make it
like a s'more.
Yeah, or with the peanut butter, or I'm going to put nuts in it. But you start with the bases, but once you add it, it's different now. So that's what she did, was she took that funky smell and she made it. But she did beg her.
She did.
To co-partner with her. And they could have took over the world.
They could have.
But unfortunately it didn't happen. But, you know, she's a very prevalent piece of history for us. To follow example of the tenacity, and this all ties in. We didn't like. This is just coming to me now, so it wasn't like when we picked this movie. It was just something we wanted to review, but it also reflects of how we do as actors. Like that grinding.
Yeah.
That absolutely. Every time someone says no, every time a door closes. Every time you feel like you want to give up, but if you see it, you visualize it like, I'm going to do this. You're going to see me on the big screen. Yeah. You are going to see me.
Yeah.
And you just don't give up. That's just something to look at. That's how her tenacity kept her going. And it wasn't even about the money. She had a bigger vision. Her thing was about legacy.
Sure.
She said she did mention, I'm going to be the first Black millionaire, but I don't think that was her goal. Hers was, I'm building a legacy. And we have to think in terms of legacy.
Sure. Yeah. But she was amazing because she could even see it, you know.
Yeah.
It takes so much to even be able to dream that big, right? I remember the first year that I met you, that's what I kept telling LaDios. She'd say, what are you struggling with? And I'd say, I'm trying to dream bigger, because I realized entering this world, like, oh my God, my scope is so limited. I didn't even know that there's possibilities out there. So, I mean, even having that vision to go that much further. And then what you were saying again, you know, the tenacity, but not only that, letting go of image. Like, you know, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what mold you think you're supposed to fill. No. You're good. You're perfect. Just who you are. Bring it to the table. Somebody's going to want it. I guarantee it.
Oh wait, okay. So remember the image when he was like, "I'm gonna bring you," because he was like a marketing guy.
Oh yeah.
Her husband was a marketing. So he's like, "I got the image," but all he did was make the white image colored.
Yes.
And it still looked like a white image.
Yes.
And if you ever looked at her previous products, it's always her face. Like I think it's like in a kind of a side profile of her.
Yeah.
And I think she was a big woman, but it's always her face. And I do like what you say about image because we get stuck in, I'm too old, I'm too young,
Yep.
I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too
Yep.
dark, I'm too light, my hair's not long enough. And then we end up impeding our progress.
Absolutely.
But there is something, especially when you're dealing with the acting world, there's something out there for everybody. The one thing I love about acting, is you can do it until the day you die.
That's
you
right.
can't do sports. Can't be a doctor forever. Can't be a surgeon forever. You know what I'm saying? But you can do acting forever till
That's
the
right.
day you die.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's always a role, and that's so hopeful, and I love that because that's what we do. That's how we keep up our grind. That's why we do this is to keep bringing that art to the table, right?
Yeah.
And filling those roles that somebody needs to see, regardless of what it is. If it's that downtrodden, trauma-filled woman or that person that had to give up their child for adoption, whatever role I'm filling, there's some cathartic need out there for somebody, and it's going to touch them, and that's so fulfilling. That's so rewarding at the end of the day, right?
All roles matter.
Absolutely.
Even the extras.
Absolutely.
Because you can't have a film without extras. You just can't. I mean, you just can't. I'm sorry, you can't. Every role matters.
I love the extras in Self-Made. Did you notice?
They were beautiful.
They were beautiful.
They had so many
oh my
different
gosh.
looks and the clothes. Oh wait, I remember there was one in particular when I was looking at Booker T.
Yeah.
It was the young man. He had the little round glasses and he had a little mustache. I mean, a little beard and a mustache. And he just always stuck out. And I watched it twice, and I was like, he is just like I see him.
Yes.
Like he just. So even if you're extra, do your part. Do
it.
your best. And trust me, I've been on extra roles.
Somebody gonna feel you.
Yeah, they gonna see you. They gonna see you. They gonna see you. But yes. So this is our review.
Yeah.
For our episode 4.
Definitely.
And we just wanted to share. We're gonna be bringing those for every 3 weeks. We're gonna do a review. And so right now we're doing movies because we can't get to any plays. So once this ban is lifted up, we're gonna do some reviews on some theater plays and movies and all kinds of stuff. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm LaDios Muhammad, an actor with purpose.
I'm Rav'n Moon, an actor with passion.
Remember, you don't have to be asleep to dream. We are actors from the
the dark side.